a nigga. I fuck with her to ease my mind. I be in my feelings. Every single person in my life tell me I'm a hero. But when it's up and nigga.
The official intro song.
All right. Welcome to the TheCoyChronicles. So to start off, we're gonna be just explaining pretty much why we're doing this. For me personally, it's quarantine sucks, so it's just a chance to talk to the boys. Feature someone else each week, me and Tony, and just kind of talk about something that we like. Maybe use it for a reference for a job later in a similar field or anything along that line. So Tony, if you want to go.
Yeah, it pretty much just gives us a chance to just express our basketball knowledge, and it gives us something to do during this tough time. It also brings the boys closer together since we can't really see each other in person. But it's just an idea that Clay and I had that I'm just making it into reality at this point.
Joe.
Yeah, I'm not really the biggest basketball guy in the world. Kind of just a lot of different sports, but I'm just dropping in, chop it up with the boys.
All right, so we're going to start off doing the 2020 NBA draft for our first episode. We're going to go 1 through 10. We're going to list the teams based off of records that are the top 10 worst records right now in the order until the NBA season continues. So to start off, I have going number 1, James Wiseman, 7 foot 1 inch center from Memphis, going to the Golden State Warriors. James Wiseman averages 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks. I said he all he really needs to do is work on some passing, get it down to the post, pass out to the perimeter, especially on that team. And if he can stretch his range a little bit, it'll make it easier for Curry and Clay and Draymond and Andrew Wiggins to drive. And then his help defense could use a little bit of work too. But aside from that, his field goal percentage is through the roof, 70-something%, and his rim protection is outstanding. I compared him to DeAndre Ayton or Hassan Whiteside. So Tony, you want to go next?
Yeah. Okay. So you might consider it an unpopular opinion, but I put LaMelo Ball at the number 1 spot. He's a 6'8" point guard, great basketball IQ. He's more athletic, or he's one of the more athletic guards on this list, and can pretty much do it all. He can shoot from anywhere in the court, has great passing IQ, can dunk, and he's very projectable. He does need to improve strength, which will help on defense and offense, just his overall game. And yeah, I think he'll only get better. And he already has professional experience. He's learned the ways of the NBA through Lonzo, and I don't know, I think he'll adapt to the NBA play style very quickly. And my comparison is Penny Hardaway, a taller point guard.
Okay. Joe?
Yeah, like Coy said, I got James Wiseman going number 1 of the Warriors. 7'1", 250. Played for Memphis, only a few games. Got suspended 12 games last year for taking money from the coach. Born in Nashville. He's reportedly at the top of the Warriors draft board. They're looking to take him number 1 as of right now, still about a month and a half, 2 months out from the draft. But nonetheless, they're looking to take him number 1. Also, the Warriors are very strong 1 through 4 with Steph, Clay, Wiggins, and Draymond. Could use some work at the 5. Wiseman going to clean up some boards for them, block some shots. And my player comp is Hassan Whiteside. Going to get points, going to get rebounds, going to get blocks, going to do all 3. Strong rim protector, tall, young guy. Going to be a big part for the Warriors.
So if he is going to be like Whiteside, who actually puts up a lot of empty stats in his defense and reboundings, he would just have to work on efficiency. So number 2, the Cleveland Cavaliers. I have them drafting 6 foot 9 inch power forward from Dayton, Obi Toppin, who averages 20 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. I thought he has high IQ, He has nice all-around defense, great range for definitely for his size. 39% from three, the college three, which moved back this year. And I compared him to Luol Deng and Sean Marion. I think the only thing he needs to really do is improve his athleticism and speed.
Okay, for me at the number 2 spot, I do have James Wiseman. I think he's a safe option right here. Solid overall big man, crazy athleticism, great defense, and just one of those players that will help your team. I know the Cavs just got Drummond, but I think Drummond could be a good mentor for Wiseman potentially and could fit into the rotations pretty quickly. And I do like the DeAndre Ayton comparison. I think that was a good NBA comparison.
Number 2 spot, I'm going to go with Obi Toppin. Like Coy said, 6'9", 220 from Dayton, born in Brooklyn. Consensus National Player of the Year, widely considered best player in college basketball. Easily going to replace Cedi Osman. The Cavs are very strong with Sexton, Drummond, and Tristan Thompson. Going to need some help on the wing at the 3 spot. Going to go in there, replace Cedi Osman. Averaged 20 points, 7.5 rebounds per game last season. Also had I believe it was about 39% from 3. My NBA player comp, a little bit of a lesser-known guy, Tobias Harris. High points, little below 10 rebounds, above average 3-point shooting percentage. Both downstate New York guys, too.
And we were just talking about Whiteside. I'm repping the Hassan Whiteside Miami jersey. Tony got the Black Mamba High School jersey. And Joey's got a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 3, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves taking Anthony Edwards, the 6'5" shooting guard from Georgia. He averages 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and over a steal. So the only thing he really needs is consistent shooting, consistent 3-point shooting. He needs to really improve his 3-point shooting, especially. And his footwork and ability to get himself to the rim, especially based off of his semi-athleticism, it's good. I compared him to Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is obviously smaller, but the play style is very similar.
Yeah, my number 3 spot, I also put Anthony Edwards there. I think he pretty much nailed it. Like, the dude's a scoring machine. He can put the ball in the basket, but the one thing that will make him a top-tier elite level scorer is that 3-point ball. I think once he develops that, like one of the top scorers in the league. And yeah, my NBA comparison for Edwards was DeMar DeRozan, another guy. His 3 ball is inconsistent, but can pretty much do everything else on it.
Going to the Timberwolves, I got LaMelo Ball, 6'8", 180, Illawarra Hawks from Chino Hills. Went the international route. Averaged 17, 7, and 7 for the Hawks last season. Obviously, has an older brother to look up to. Lonzo is going to be able to walk him through the rookie lifestyle, through the NBA lifestyle. The ball vision hasn't quite panned out to what LeVar thought. I'm personally a big fan of LeVar Ball, big fan of the Ball family. Expecting big things from LaMelo at the NBA level. My NBA comp would be Kyle Korver. Guy between probably shooting guard, small forward. Gonna get the ball in his hands. He can shoot the 3, whether it be off the dribble, off the pass, anywhere on the floor, really. Going to be a good shooter for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay, so next up at number 4, I actually had LaMelo Ball, the 6'8" shooting guard from Australia, to the Atlanta Hawks. And the reason I have him dropping down this far, not going number 3, not going number 1, is because of LeVar Ball. I think his dad really impacted Lonzo when he was on the Lakers. I just think teams are going to be turned off to his dad, especially this high up in the lottery like Lonzo was. So I have LaMelo going to Atlanta, playing next to Trae Young in the starting lineup. I think he fits very well, and he'll be a perfect fit as soon as he can consistently shoot the ball at a high clip. Um, he has by far the best all-around game in the draft, averaging 17 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. In the National Basketball League in Australia as well. So he's playing professional as a teenager. And I kind of compared him to Damian Lillard or John Wall.
Okay, my number 4 spot for the Hawks, I got Obi Toppin going number 4. I think, yeah, Koi pretty much nailed it before. Could score from anywhere, stretch 4, could also slash, has some slashing tendencies. And his defense isn't too shabby either. So yeah, I think him and Trae Young will be a good dynamic duo in the near future. And yeah, my comparison would be an Aaron Gordon type player with a better jump shot.
I got Anthony Edwards, 6'5", 235. Georgia Bulldog from Atlanta, gonna stay in Atlanta, gonna get drafted by the Hawks. Finishes well, good shooter, slightly below average from 3-point range, but gonna finish strong at the rim. Shoots well from inside the 3-point line. My NBA comparison is Dwayne Wade, clutch gene, 6'4", 6'5" guard, tough, athletic, very gonna expect a long career out of Edwards playing for the Hawks.
I guess we'll represent Dwayne Wade as well. What do we got, number 5?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the Detroit Pistons taking Cole Anthony, the 6'2" point guard from North Carolina. He averaged 19.6 rebounds and 4 assists. I compared him personally to Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook just because he can really play all around. He's great at getting to the rim. He just needs to really improve his 3-point shooting, which is pretty inconsistent, but he makes up to it by getting to the rim. And he really just takes pressure off his teammates. So Christian Wood, not yet too established. He could let him get his touches, Blake Griffin, he'll take pressure off of him, especially coming back from his surgery on his knee. And Derrick Rose as well. He may be playing along if he's not traded. Can really teach him how to kind of like come back off of the injury that he just had on his knee, and kind of play around it so he doesn't re-injure it.
Yeah, my number 5 spot, I also had Cole Anthony. And yeah, he could do everything. He is coming off that knee injury, which it could affect his athleticism a little bit, but I think over time it'll only improve. And yeah, that's a good point. I do think Derrick Rose could be the perfect mentor for a player like Cole Anthony, considering they both, went through that tough knee injury at such a young age. But yeah, I think he has a very bright future if he stays healthy. And my NBA comparison is Kyle Lowry.
All right, boys, I'm going to make it unanimous at the 5 spot. I'm going with Cole Anthony as well, 6'3", 190 from UNC. One and done guy for the Tar Heels. Didn't play all season as you guys mentioned. He had his knee injury. UNC's worst season in a while. If the NCAA tournament did happen, they're probably going to end up missing it. Didn't quite find out what Anthony could have done in March with the spotlight on him. But I'm gonna go along with Coy's player comparison. I'm going with Derrick Rose. Obviously, the knee injury. Hopefully, Cole Anthony only has that one. He'll just come back stronger from it. And if D Rose sticks around, be a good mentor to the young Cole Anthony.
All right, at number 6, I hated to do it, but RJ Hampton will be playing with RJ Barrett in New York. RJ Hampton is a 6'4" shooting guard from Australia. He averaged 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists, which if he were to play in college, it would he'd basically be averaging double that, so 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. One thing I really noticed is he needs to vastly improve his shooting and his passing. Those are the two subpar portions of his game. But other than that, his movement off the ball, his other offensive game, minus the shooting, is actually pretty advanced. His placements, his pick and roll IQ, and I compared him to Evan Turner or Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, in my sixth spot, I also put RJ Hampton. I think he has a very high ceiling. It's a quick guard, has good basketball IQ, but yeah, like you said, the jumper, there is some room for improvement. And yeah, the pro ball experience definitely helps his draft stock, and that'll definitely help him in the near future. I had trouble thinking of an NBA comparison. Maybe Zach LaVine in his first few years, but I don't know. I kind of like your Evan Turner one too, but RJ Hampton, that's a tough one for me to think of.
I'm going with Onyeka Okongwu, 6'9", 245 from USC. LA kid all his life, born in LA, played alongside LaMelo Ball at Chino Hills. Couple of Chino Hills guys projected to go top 10. Okongwu is a 6'9" guy, probably going to be a power forward in the NBA. Very good shot blocker, good defensive wise. Also gets done in the paint, strong around the rim on both ends of the floor, really. Player comparison is Tristan Thompson, mainly because of just a power forward guy who plays more like a power forward on the offensive side, but more like a center on the defensive side, getting blocks and rebounds.
Yep, and I have a Okongwu, whatever the hell it is, at number 7, being drafted by the Bulls. He's a 6'9" power forward from South Carolina, and I have him at 7 going to the Bulls specifically because the Bulls need defense. He can play your 4, 5, maybe 3 if he can learn how to shoot. But he can definitely be pivotal, like Draymond Green, on defense. And so his stats are 16 points, 9 rebounds, and assists, a steal, and 3 blocks. He really needs to learn how to shoot to be a consistent offensive force. His force in the paint is good. It's solid. It'll get him at least 10 points a night in the NBA. And his field goal percentage and defense is fantastic. I compared him to Montrezl Harrell, DeAndre Jordan, and Draymond Green.
Yeah, my 7th spot, I also put Okongwu there. He's a defensive force in the paint. There's no denying that. He's been proving that since Chino, but yeah. He can put the ball in the basket from close range, but yeah, the one thing he does really need to improve is that shooting. Because these days, this power forward, they need to be able to stretch the floor a little bit. Yeah, and I don't think his 6'9" height's gonna do it with the center position. But yeah, I think he'll definitely provide some good defense to the Bulls. And my comparisons were Montrezl Harrell and JaVale McGee.
I got RJ Hampton, 6'5", 185, another guy that went the international route, 5-star guy out of high school. Played for the New Zealand Breakers, originally from Dallas. My player comparison is Dante Exum, another top 10 guy coming from Australia. Hampton, 5-star guy out of high school, out of the Dallas area. And then when he was in New Zealand, his numbers were definitely below average, averaged 8 points a game, couple assists, few rebounds. Not really anything exceptional. Don't think he'd be a draft prospect if it wasn't really for his high school resume. But nonetheless, whatever the NBA scouts are seeing, they definitely think that whatever he had in high school is going to carry over into the NBA. They're not letting his NBL stats affect his draft stock, and he's looking to stay in the top 10. And I think he's going to the Bulls with number 6 pick.
The number 7 pick. So I have Isaac Okoro going number 8. He's a 6'6" small forward from Auburn. And I have the Charlotte Hornets picking him. He averaged 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, and a steal. My needs for him is to develop on the offensive side of the ball. He could realistically maybe average 10, 12 points in the NBA his rookie season, and that's on an absolutely terrible Hornets team. And his defense is built on athleticism. So for the first 8 to 10 years of his career, he will be an excellent defender. And I compared him to Al-Farouq Aminu, mainly because of the defense, but at times he can get going on offense.
Okay, my number 8 spot to the Charlotte Hornets, I have Tyrese Halliburton, point guard from Iowa State. He's a do-it-all point guard, has good basketball IQ, knows when to pass, can shoot. But his one flaw is he's not the most athletic. Like, he's not going to go slashing in the paint, dunking on big centers or anything like that. But still a solid overall asset to a team right away. And my NBA comparison was Kemba Walker.
I'm going with Denny Avija, 6'9", 220, played for Maccabi Tel Aviv from Israel. Israeli and Serbian guy, tall, lanky dude. Decent three-point shooter, also good inside. Not sure if there's any Israel-born NBA players, but going with his Serbian side, going to compare him to Nikola Jokic, just based off his ability. Tall guy shooting the three, also gets it done inside.
Number 9, I also had Denny Avija, 6'8", small forward from Israel, going to the Washington Wizards. He averaged in Israel 12.6 rebounds, 2 assists. So again, pretty decent numbers in a professional league. But one thing I thought he really needed, which was very apparent watching him, was to put on a lot of muscle. He needed to build on his strength. But he has a pretty big two-way ability. He's solid in that role. So naturally, he doesn't excel in that role at all, but there's definitely room for improvement. And I compared him to Aaron Gordon, a guy who is extremely athletic. Is kind of small for his position. He's a 6'8", 6'9" power forward. But there's a lot of improvement he could do, especially starting with strength.
Okay, yeah, my number 9 spot, I got Vernon Carey, center from Duke. And on this Washington Wizards team, they already got John Wall, they already got Bradley Beal. I think Vernon Carey could lock down that center spot to fill that missing piece in that puzzle. But yeah, the Duke to finish inside, he plays solid defense. The only big flaw is his inconsistent shooting. But I don't think that's the biggest necessity coming from the center.
It can always be fixed.
What do you say?
It can always be fixed.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it can only improve. And yeah, so my NBA comparison to Carey is Dwight Howard in a better, maybe a more prime, not prime Dwight Howard, but a comparable player to Dwight Howard.
9th to the Wizards, I'm going with Tyrese Maxey, 6'3", 220, plays for the Kentucky Wildcats, second guy from the Dallas area that I'm expecting to go in the top 10. One thing that really sticks out in his game is just his intensity. Very good mid-range game. Runs the floor very well. Loves to get out in the fast break. Intensity and passion stick out for him. Player comp that I'd go with is 6th man of the year, Lou Williams. Just based off the intensity that they play with, their passion for the game.
Okay, and to finish it off, I have the Phoenix Suns finally giving Devin Booker his help at point guard. With the number 10 pick, I have the Suns picking Killian Hayes, the 6'5" point guard from France, who averaged 13 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds. Um, he is by far the best shooter in the draft, and I compared him to his maybe future teammate Devin Booker and also Buddy Hield. Um, for him to really become an all-star and excel in his role, I think he needs to focus on defending the 1 through 3. And I think he is by far 100% the best shooter in this draft or the previous few drafts.
Okay, my last spot, I did put Denny Avija. He's definitely a great shooter. Like, there's no question about that. But yeah, like Coy mentioned before, the strength is what he really needs to focus on. That'll help him on both offense in the paint and defense. And yeah, like right now, I don't think his defense will thrive that well in the modern NBA. But, there's definitely room for improvement as time goes on. My comparison would be someone like David Bertans, like just like a stretch four, knockdown shooter.
Rounding out my top 10, I'm going to go with Isaac Okaro, 6'6", 225 out of Auburn. Second guy from the Atlanta area in the top 10. Seen a lot of that's 2 guys from Atlanta, 2 guys from Dallas. Lots of big city guys going in this top 10, really. My player comparison is Kawhi Leonard, just based off his mid-range shooting game. He's got good 2-point, also a decent 3-point game, slightly above average from the field overall. Also above average height on him and for the 3 spot. So I'm going with Kawhi Leonard for the player comp and Isaac Okaro rounding out my top 10.
So for me, at least, I have 40% of my top 4, or my top 10, coming from international leagues. And that's just the top 10. So that kind of shows you where the players are straying away from the NCAA, and now they're going to the G League, different NBA or NBL leagues.
Yeah,
So it's,
that'll definitely change some things. And then you saw the NCAA announce that players might begin to get paid.
yeah,
Contract.
like $1 an hour. All right, this is gonna be it for our first episode of the Koi Chronicles. Next week we'll have a different feature. So thank you, Joey.
Yep.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to record, at least one podcast a week and put it out on YouTube or anywhere else, podcast on Apple or whatever. Work, gentlemen. Like and subscribe, absolutely. We have a bunch of see you later, Joey. We have a bunch of different topics we're gonna go through throughout the coming weeks. So
yeah, stay tuned for sure.